The first game series that comes to mind when you hear of Rockstar is of course none other than the Grand Theft Auto series. There's no debate to be had that the GTA games really put the company on the map when it first came out, in the right old year of 1997. A game that would cause massive controversy for its glorified violence and would continue to do so over the years and still to this day. But what is it that makes this series so unlike any other? Is it the do what the fuck you want attitude, running people over in the streets, shooting guns, blowing shit up, or hiring prostitutes for their services? Partially it is. I mean, the amount of attention the GTA games have gotten with the countless amounts of news reports, court cases and protests about the endless amount of criminal and cruel acts that you commit in the game have arguably made it that much more great. Not being afraid to portray the kind of world, story and gameplay that they have envisioned, regardless of what the media or anyone else thinks. I think they made people take a shine to them right away because of that. But when it comes down to it, they're completely missing the point of why this series and games made by Rockstar in general have a special place in the hearts of gamers all around the world. The story of a broken man from Eastern Europe trying to escape his past in the land of opportunity while trying so desperately to move forward on a new path, just to be pulled back down again and forced to repeat old bad habits in an attempt to tie up loose ends, and to finally achieve happiness and the American dream. The world of Los Santos, a place where the old come to hang up their hat and attempt to enjoy the remaining years of life in the sun, and for the young to try and make a name for themselves and turn their life around, whether for better or for worse. Or a man returning home after the loss of a loved one, mourning the loss of them and the city from which he came, looking like a completely different place, reuniting with his brothers and bringing the street families back together again. It's not about the killing, the robbing, or even the sex work. It's about how all of that creates a world so full of life, people, and powerful storytelling through a TV screen. Just like the way violent acts are used in movies and TV shows for the exact same thing. And this to me makes Grand Theft Auto the biggest and greatest video game series of all time. Not just in terms of quality, but also financially. GTA 5 released back in September of 2013, and it was made the most profitable entertainment product of all time. More profitable than Avengers Endgame, Avatar, any book or any event in the world. Out of everything, Grand Theft Auto 5 surpassed them all. If that alone doesn't show how far this company has come, and how massive this game series is, I don't know what will. We don't keep playing for the loot boxes, microtransactions, or the repetitive and boring grind. We play for one thing, and one thing only, and that is fun. On the 23rd of May, 2006, Rockstar would release a game that would fundamentally change the way their games are made, with the release of table tennis. Not quite the one I'm sure you were expecting to make as big of an impact on their game development as it did, when it was the first title to use the Rockstar Advanced Game Engine, or better known as Rage, demonstrating some of the greatest animations and mechanics that was seen in the entire industry at the time. Although their past games were still incredibly dense on their own using the renderware engine for games like Vice City and San Andreas, just to name a few, this newly made engine, which was solely used for Rockstar Games, came to a head with the release of Grand Theft Auto 4 in 2008, with some of the most hilarious and crazy ragdoll physics in any game, sending Nico high up into the air or continuously falling down a flight of stairs, cars and trucks crashing into each other with such an impact that it really made you feel like you were in a crash, denting the vehicles or sometimes putting them out of commission entirely, depending on how hard you would hit them. Being able to interact with the environment by climbing onto ledges and shimmying across, or picking up weapons and stuff in the environment, and pushing civilians around on the streets. The gameplay and mechanics were almost otherworldly to the people back in 2008, and going graphically from this to this is a huge step in almost every way. This engine would continue to be used in every game after this, and is still being improved and developed with to this day, being a major and sometimes very overlooked part to the success of Rockstar's games. A fun fact that some of you may have known about or may not have known is that when the auditions were being held for the cast of Grand Theft Auto 5, the actor who plays Michael DeSanta, Ned Luke, initially wouldn't want the part, but that is until he read the script, which made him completely 180, change his mind, and sought after the role. Instead of me trying to explain why he did it, I think it's best that you hear from the man himself.
Ned,
Yes.
you said some interesting stuff on the panel. I think my favorite being that when your agent came to you with the video game, you're like, no, I don't want to do a video game. What changed?
I saw the material, and it's a brilliant script. You know, these guys are unbelievable who write this stuff. I mean, they're so prolific and they're so funny and they're so pointed. And you just read the material and you go, I'm in. Really seriously, that's all that changed. That was just. The actor in you, going, oh, it's not a real thing. Guess what? This is the real deal, man. This is real acting. It's real fun. And I just had such a great time with these guys. I'm so glad that I said yes because, first of all, I'd have been really stupid to say no because I wasn't working.
You'd be at home right now kicking yourself pretty hard.
Well, I wouldn't be at home. I'd be out on the street somewhere because my wife would have kicked me to the curb if I'd have said no. But, yeah, no, it was great, man. I would have never met these guys. Never had so much fun. This is my boy right here. OGG. I love it. It's so much fun.
The GTA series has always been known for its clever and satire-like writing, making countless pop culture references and poking fun at really anything in the world today. Nothing is off limits when it comes to a GTA game, with some scenes and events actually having two versions of the same script if a player gets a mission failure or has to restart it. It's a great touch to help the player get through restarting the mission again, having them not listening to the same lines of dialogue over and over, and it's this attention to detail that makes players love their stories.
Alright, here's how the shit is going down. We're gonna go inside and each take down a security guard. Me and St. Michael here are gonna handle the civilians, while Nico and Derek manage the employees. Anyone tries anything, you put them down hard. Once the situation has been controlled, Derek's going to rig the vault door with explosive. It's very clear about the way things is going down, boys. Me and Michael are on the civilians. Derek and Nico are on employees. Derek, did you sort out the charge for the vault door?
What's that mean? Of course I sorted out the charge. What do you think I've been doing all day?
They didn't need to add in those alternate lines of dialogue, but they did it anyway, because they wanted to bring as much to the storytelling as possible. And these character roles are portrayed by some of the best actors in the industry. Guys like Samuel L. Jackson, who played Officer Tenpenny from San Andreas, as well as Ray Liotta, who played the role of Tommy Vercetti and is widely known for his role in Goodfellas. Rockstar most definitely aren't shy about hiring highly talented actors to bring their scripts to life. And with Ned Luke putting on an additional £25 to prep for the role of Michael, saying it would help him from a physical standpoint to get into the character of Michael a little easier, and that it did. Ned absolutely killed it as Michael in the game. Thanks to the dedication he had for the role and what it meant to the overall arc of the story and the quality of the script itself. Probably my favourite scene with Michael is where he opens up to Franklin after he was rescued from being kidnapped, talking about his past choices that led him to this point in the story.
Alright then, I'll see you.
For sure.
Hey, sure you don't want to come in?
What, your big empty-ass house? Dog, I'm depressed enough already.
Alright. Well, listen, thanks.
Look, man, before you go, what the fuck happened up there?
I said, Trevor went crazy, tried to kill me, I got jumped by the Chinese.
Man, before all that, I'm talking about the feds. Trevor, this guy Brad, man.
I know what you meant. Alright. Look, I made a judgment call. I don't know if it was the right one. I did what I thought I had to do. I had a young family, Franklin. I was running with a crew of crazy motherfuckers with nothing to lose. I saw an out. A future for me, for my family. I took it.
You took it? Man, you burned every motherfucker you've ever known.
It was that or die. Look, I know it sounds cold. I don't expect you to understand it. Not yet, but you will. When you got ties of your own. Look, you wake up one day and your legs, they just give. You just can't run anymore.
All right, man, look. You watch your back, all right? When Trevor finds out you're still alive, I don't know what the fuck he gonna do.
Don't worry about Trevor. He's not gonna get near me. Hey, you watch your back. You hear me?
Dog, it ain't me he coming for. We straight. It's you, dog. It's you.
I'm just saying.
He absolutely nails it here, portraying the kind of person Michael is, cold, selfish, but also trying to move forward with his family life, with this either being the start of a new leaf or his demise. Or even here, back in Grand Theft Auto 4 when Nico Bellic, portrayed by Michael Hollick, meets with the McCreary brothers about a job they've come up with.
So the plan was they were gonna hide the diamonds in the Queen's ass.
Oh, hey, Nico.
Hey, Kate.
Get your fucking hands off my fucking sister, boy.
We're talking, not having casual sex, Patrick. I pray after the amount of practice you've had, you'd know the difference.
Sure, I know the difference. One leaves you feeling sad and empty and alone, and the other's casual sex.
And I'm quite sure you and Mr. Nico here will have fun on your play date. Hey. Coming, Ma. You boys play nice now.
For sure.
Hey. Okay.
Oh, we're gonna play real nice. They're clean as a fucking whistle. One previous owner, safely driven, ready for action. We got an opportunity, my boy.
Yep, fortune favors the brave.
Gotta make hay while the sun shines.
So is you down, boy? Or is you out?
Down for what?
Down for robbing a thief.
Robin Hood.
Exactly, Robin fucking Hood.
Who are you going to rob?
The fucking mafia, boy.
Is the money good? What's the risk?
Well, the risk is we all die a very slow and painful death. And the money is good, very good indeed.
So you in, big guy? Or we're gonna have to kill you.
Well, since you put it that way, I mean...
Right.
Good.
All right.
Let's
yeah,
go.
let's do this.
This tense offer followed by Nico's questions and witty answer really builds the scene nicely, and I know it's not the best scene in the whole game, but this shows perfectly what Nico is like as a character, a man who's all down for business when it comes to making some money for him and his cousin, but also has a sense of humour about it too. These are just a few to show the genius of the writing in these games and how the actors bringing these words on a page to life in the game makes these challenge many of the greatest scenes in Hollywood in my eyes. Speaking of Hollywood, the location and world of Rockstar's games can be considered a character by itself, the most important one even. Without the incredibly detailed and massive worlds full of life and stuff to do, these games wouldn't be where they are today. GTA San Andreas to me has the world that's the most dense out of all of the GTA games, and although I haven't finished the story of the game just yet, I'm still playing through it at the moment, and actually I'm really enjoying it so far. Although I haven't done absolutely everything there is to do around the map, I have been exploring the vast majority of it while playing Multi-Theft Auto, which is the multiplayer mod for the game, which we'll get into talking about later on in this video. With the cities, countryside, deserts and forests, there really is so much variety in the world for the player to explore and engage in. And while you take a look at the map itself and think that it doesn't really look that big at first glance, it feels absolutely massive in-game. And there's so much stuff to do outside of the main story missions, it's insane. We're talking about hobbies like pool, basketball, lowrider challenges, video poker, arcade games, blackjack, shooting ranges, and I'm sure there's more that I'm forgetting about, but I haven't done all of them just yet. And it doesn't stop there, we've got stunt jumps, over 70 of them, 70, vehicle missions like vigilante cop missions, ambulance, burglar, races, taxis. There's so much stuff for players to do that it showed Rockstar clearly cared about the amount of fun the player could have and enjoy the world that they spent so much time creating. Even upon doing research about all the hobbies and activities you can do, there is even more depth to the game than I initially thought. Like later on in the game you can go to schools to earn medals and vehicles for you to use in-game, flying planes, driving boats, and taking driving lessons, which I think was a really nice pastime to include, since at the beginning of the game, at least, Ryder and other characters are constantly commenting and nagging on CJ about being a terrible driver.
I could drive as well as CJ, man, I'm telling you. Hey, homie, what's up?
Hey, what you saying about me, fool?
What's up, man? I'm saying that the East Coast made you drive like an idiot, fool. Man, you always crashing cars and shit. And for some reason now you back. All it is CJ drive here, CJ drive there. Bullshit.
Man, why don't you just take it easy?
No disrespect, man, but you can't drive for shit.
Having that pastime makes sense for CJ to take part in. There's even absolutely crazy shit like racing in stadiums, which I think is so fucking cool, and not something you would really expect to see in a game about being a professional criminal. And as much as I love the story, characters, and atmosphere of GTA 4, I have to say that San Andreas definitely blows it out of the water when it comes to the map diversity, pastimes, and overall variety of things to buy, see, and do outside of the story mode. But not only the Grand Theft Auto games have these kind of incredible worlds, I would argue that every open world game that Rockstar has ever put out outside of the GTA series are just as detailed and charming in their own ways. Even smaller ones like the map of Bully with just the main school and some upper class and lower class neighbourhoods and a carnival serves the theme of the game quite well. But it would be an absolute crime if I didn't talk about the world of Red Dead Redemption 2. Rockstar's most recent game, and in my personal opinion, my favourite out of all of the games they have made so far. Despite the deep and masterful storytelling, the gangs, the hideouts, and the bats, this has to be the most gorgeous Rockstar world that I have ever been in. Sure, it may not have as many side activities to do like GTA San Andreas, which I still think is the best GTA open world game, but Red Dead 2 takes things one step further to bringing the towns, swamps, mountains, and cities to life in ways that's only just pure genius. Being able to interact with every single NPC that you come across, whether it's a fellow gang member, an enemy, civilians, strangers, or even dogs, makes the player engage with pretty much everything that they see, bringing in that extra level of immersion in the open world. Even details like listening in on conversations to unlock new side missions, people talking about you as you walk through a saloon depending on your actions from when you were there last, makes this really feel like a real place that actually matters if you punch a random old woman in the street, because people will judge you for it. Every action has consequences in the world of Red Dead. Random events will trigger while you're moving throughout the world on horseback or on foot, giving the choice of what you want to do in each situation, with the decision you make potentially resulting in something terrible happening, or even a second or third event taking place if you choose to be more friendly and take the helpful option. Or you can just walk right on past and not get involved at all. There's so much freedom in what the player can do that these events and side missions aren't forced down your throat and force you to do them right away, but they make you want to because of how well done they are. A perfect example of this would be in the city of Saint Denis, where Arthur comes across a woman looking for donations.
Excuse me, sir. Can I bother you for a minute of your time? Can I tell you a little about what we're doing here?
Sure.
Less than a minute, I promise. We're trying to raise money to build an expansion to the Quincy Harris Memorial Hall, a shelter for homeless veterans and their families. Can you help? A donation of $20 would put us well on our way.
$20 ain't no chicken feed, but sure, I can help you out.
That's very kind. What is your name, sir?
Arthur Morgan.
Your donation will be acknowledged on a founder's plaque when the building is completed. You have a great day, Mr. Morgan.
And if you come back to the same point when you finish the main story, the building will be finished and Arthur's name is actually on that plaque. It's not every day that a game will go out of their way to make that much of a small and random encounter become a core part of the game's world and have the player actively be responsible for it. The time period as well can also be an important part when it comes to Rockstar's worlds, and as most of their games have been set in the past, usually in the 80s and 90s, and even as far back as the 1940s, and although I know the direction of their most recent GTA games have been in the modern era, there's no doubt that the series' success has come from earlier titles like GTA 3 and Vice City. I mean, the soundtrack of Vice City alone nails the setting and time period of the game perfectly, with so many songs from the 80s that are so catchy, I'm imagining them playing in my head right now. Nothing beats Flash FM, except maybe Vladivostok, but still. The fact that the game played as historically accurate as possible, with the characters using big block phones to talk to each other and accept missions from, the cars being designed from that time period, and the NPCs wearing 80s fashioned clothing, if anything felt out of place or even slightly more modern than it would have been back then, Rockstar would have definitely been called out for it. but it's so well designed with all thought and research from that time period being put into it to make the story and world that much more great. Outer Circle GTA games like Manhunt and LA Noire even take place in the past, with some principles of historical accuracy being used by the developers. From the way characters talk, act, dress, and even people smoking in bars, it's these little details that makes the player become interested in history and want to know more about it, actually look up cars and towns from back then and what they looked like. So whether it's the amount of side activities and hobbies, the details, choices and random events, or the year it's set in, Rockstar's open world is the very best in the business, hands down. Which brings me to what may be the most important aspect in what makes the best Rockstar game, and that is the community. Without the fans buying and playing their games, Rockstar wouldn't be anywhere near the level of success that they have reached over the years. But more specifically, what part of the fanbase keeps a game alive and thriving years after its release, and bringing in more and more players as the years go on? But more specifically, I'm going to be talking about the modding community. The countless amount of mods that have been made and added to so many of Rockstar's games is what gives them a really great reputation among the gaming community, showing the support for fan modding over the years. Well, that was until they tried to take down OpenIV, and that whole hot coffee thing happened with San Andreas, but for the most part, they've been pretty mod supportive in most of their games. One modding project that was made solely by the passion and love that the community has for Rockstar's games, and blew me away when I played it for the first time, is Multi-Theft Auto, also known as MTA for short, a multiplayer mode for GTA San Andreas. Since Rockstar never officially had any online mode for any of their GTA games until 2008 with GTA 4, the fans thought that they would make one themselves and it would be entirely free to play for anyone with a copy of the game on PC. With a large variety of servers to choose from and even having their own games integrated into them, such as the Battle Royale game mode based off of PUBG, where you can get into squads with your friends and explore the map trying to be the last team standing. And this is the mode that I played for quite a while with friends and even solo to explore the map and just realised how dense it is without even finishing the story. Transform races similar to the ones they have in GTA Online, and zombie apocalypse servers, there's just so much to choose from and it has something for everyone. I could go on and explain more about what makes MTA such an amazing thing, but this video is getting long enough already. I just thought it was right to at least include it at the end since it's such a big part of the wheel of Rockstar as a developer, and what helps that wheel keep turning to this day. In conclusion, every game made by Rockstar to this day has set the bar of what a AAA game should be. What every open world game should be, should rise up to and try to be better, although they're going to have to pull off something really special to do so. If you don't believe me, look at Cyberpunk 2077 having the worst launch I have seen for a video game ever, overselling and overhyping what their world set out to be. But Rockstar's games back up all that talk. And I think after the release of Cyberpunk, that people have grown to have more appreciation for how truly amazing and masterful their games are. And sure, one of their games might not be your cup of tea, and you might not enjoy all aspects of it, which is perfectly valid and everyone has their own opinion, but you can't deny that deep down, to the core, it is a great and well-made game, and see why so many people love it, just as you love your favourite game for your own reasons. And that's what I believe makes Rockstar's best game. Thanks very much for watching, everyone. This one took a while to put together, so a like would really go a long way and would be much appreciated to me. Comment below which one you think is the best game and why. It would be nice to see all the different thoughts and reasons for why it's your favourite game, and if I missed anything that you feel is important throughout this video, don't be afraid to let me know about it as well. And I'll see you all in the next one. Peace.
It's pretty much done. You know, you and me, we're more ghosts than people.
Look, Sonny, we were set up. The deal was an ambush. Harry and Lee are dead.
You better be kidding me, Tommy! Tell me you still got the money.
War is where the young and stupid are tricked by the old and bitter into killing each other.
CJ. Oh, my dog! What's up?
If you want my advice, give this shit up.
Soon, this school will be ours.
I don't want the school.
Yeah, well, I do, pal, and I intend to get it.
Judd. In the end, I did.
Weeks ago, I was happily retired, sulking by my swimming pool. My psychotic best friend shows up out of nowhere to torture me over mistakes I made, honest mistakes I made over a decade ago.
You sure know how to get yourself into trouble, don't you, baby?
You sure know how to get me out, Johnny.
This is a disaster. We are so screwed, man.
Is it, boy?
I ain't got no lazy eye. No respect for the likes of you.
Well, maybe when your mother's finished mourning your father, I'll keep her in black on your behalf. You think on that, boy?
We told you not to fuck with us! Shit! Michael! St. fucking Michael! I'm the only man in the history of this town with the hottest gay and straight clubs at the same time, and I'm about to lose everything!
Man, get the fuck out my face.
You forget 1,000 things every day, pal. Make sure this is one of them.